Parliament has lodged an urgent application to the Constitutional Court asking for another extension to finalise the Electoral Amendment Bill to February next year. The bill was sent back to the National Assembly after the National Council of Provinces made the changes. The Apex Court granted the first extension, making the deadline December 10th. Newzroom Afrika's Athi Mtongana filed this report on the details of that application.
It's been such a long and complicated process for Parliament to actually get to pass this Electoral Amendment Bill from the time that the Constitutional Court declared invalid the Act in itself, insofar as allowing independent candidates who are not members of political parties to stand for elections. And since then, the Minister of Home Affairs introducing the bill subsequently in 2022 this year in January. This was, of course, after the decision of the Constitutional Court in 2020 to invalidate the Electoral Amendment Bill insofar as independent candidates. Then Parliament obviously went through the process of processing the bill, obviously also including public participation in this process. They saw at quite an early stage that they would not be able to meet up to the June deadline and had asked for an extension. And so recently what had happened is that the National Assembly finally, after postponement, had passed the bill. And so what then followed after the National Assembly passed the bill was for the National Council of Provinces to also consider the bill. And that's where the buck has stopped, because the NCOP has found some flaws in the Electoral Amendment Bill insofar as, you know, its substantive and material nature. So they made a few proposals to change some of the considerations that were adopted and passed by the National Assembly, particularly in respect to saying that it still favors political parties as opposed to independent candidates. So those are the kind of changes that would have to be made, and that is why now Parliament has applied for an urgent application at the Constitutional Court for a further extension to actually get to formally pass the bill, and that is only going to now be next year in 2023. The bill will then have to go back to the National Assembly, and there would also have to be a process of public participation again in order to meet up to those proposals that have been made and that have been identified by the National Council of Provinces. So it's still a long way to go. We wait for the decision of the Constitutional Court insofar as this urgent application by Parliament.